What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Screenwork Entertainment. And I just watched one of the most controversial new movies from Matt Walsh, Am I Racist? Now, unfortunately, my other two colleagues are a little too woke to watch this movie. They want to review it with me, so I'm doing this one solo. I, however, thought this movie was awesome, and I am not too woke to do this movie. One of the first things I noticed when going to the movies to check out this flick is I saw no posters. I saw no advertisement besides, Matt Walsh himself. Didn't see too much of anything. I was kind of disappointed in that. I expect at least to see a poster, or at least outside on the billboard now showing Am I Racist? But no advertisements, no nothing. When I finally get to the movie theater, there's maybe 6 other families, maybe 12 people total. So it wasn't packed or anything. But for the first time in a long time, I did not want to walk out of a movie. I really liked this movie. It was really funny. If you have an open mind and you have a sense of humor, it's a pretty damn good movie. It's pretty funny. I mean, the premise is Matt Walsh. We all know who Matt Walsh is. He's going along a self-discovery journey. He wants to know, is he racist? That's what he wants to know. And he trolls pretty hard. And this movie convinces me more than ever that Matt Walsh may be a sociopath. I don't know how he can keep the straight face that he keeps. He can do the things he does in this movie with a straight face. It is like amazing. I don't know how he does it. You would think it would be a lot of cracking up and cutting up between the scenes, but there couldn't be. There can't be no cracking up between the scenes because all this stuff is going on live. These people don't know who he is. He can't crack up. He can't let them know who he is. And that's what is so good about this movie, because they all signed off the rights for this. Like, we get to see some pretty crazy stuff. And the fact that there's not a lot of reviews out there about this really talks about this movie and how it's almost like they don't want you to see it. It's pretty crazy, and you should see it because we should know what's going on in our country. Now, I'll be honest, I am not a political guy. None of our videos have ever been anything to do with politics. I've never done a political movie before, but I thought this movie was so good, I wanted to do a video on it. And I don't lean right, I don't lean left. God in heaven! I am not into politics. I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican. I'm more along the side of common sense. That's what I'm on the side of, common sense. In this movie, most of these people have no common sense whatsoever. It is crazy the things that they say and are pushing. It is really, really crazy. As the movie goes on, we see each interview he does, we get to see how much it costs for these interviews. Or even when he's sitting down for the dinner, how much it costs to sit down at this dinner with these people. It is so crazy. People are paying money for someone to talk to them the way they're being talked to, especially at the dinner party. The dinner party was hilarious, but it was also so uncomfortable and hard to watch. All at the same time. The things that the hosts say during this whole dinner scene is just, you just want to say, wow. If you hate America that bad, I don't know why you're here. I don't understand. And for these white ladies to pay, I don't know what they paid for to get into this dinner, but I'm sure it wasn't cheap. And I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. And how Matt Walsh was able to go to this dinner, not get upset. Put it that way, not get upset and reveal who he was really remarkable. And I like dry humor. It's about as dry as it gets. And then he did so good. I'm really surprised this movie isn't as popular as it should be. I know I saw a video where this is like top 5 movies right now, which is really cool. I'm glad it's getting out there, especially for a movie like this to be in top 5. I don't know if that's true. That's what I saw. I don't know if that's accurate. Find it hard to believe, to be honest, with no advertising besides what's on YouTube and what they let you see. Now, one of the funniest parts in this movie is when Matt is sitting down with Robin DiAngelo, and he says, well, explain to me what mansplaining is. And then she explains to him what it is, but as she's explaining, he interrupts and tells her what mansplaining is. That was just comedy gold in the way you can see in her eyes. Like, he's explaining, he's mansplaining to me about mansplaining. I'm like, Jesus. And he does it such a straight face. It is so crazy. And also, whenever his friend, Ben, I believe his name is, comes out and he's like, we should pay him reparations. And, he gives him all the money in his wallet, which I think was like $20. And Matt's like, well, shouldn't you pay him reparations too? I mean, this is what you're saying. And she just doesn't understand. She looks at him like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, why? But he's like, well, this is what we should do. You feel that he deserves reparations. I want to be part of the cause. Like, I want to do it myself. I don't want to wait for it to happen. I want to do it myself. And you can just see it in her face. Like, I don't understand why we're doing this. And then whenever she gives him the money, like you see her go to her purse, pulls out money. And she has more money than what she gives. She gives him $30. And you can tell when she's pulling money out of her purse, I'm sure she had several $100s or more in there. And she picks out probably just the lowest that she has, but makes sure it's more money than what Matt had gave him. And it was just so well played out in how she didn't know she's being trolled. It's like they're in their own bubble, which Matt said it best. They're in their own bubble. And they would never believe that anyone would believe anything different than what they believe. Like, you cannot challenge their ideas in any way. And they just don't believe how anyone would do that. It's pretty crazy. It really is. I don't know anything about Robin DiAngelo. It's the first time I've ever heard her. You do learn a lot about her in this scene. It's pretty impressive. Now, I don't want this video going forever. I just want to do a quick little video on this. But I would like to talk about my favorite part about this movie. I think it's the funniest part. And that's when he puts out a Craigslist ad for a class that he's gonna teach. And all these people show up, and it's just the things he says in his class. He puts up like a chart to see how racist you are, right? So he asks everyone, well, in a scale of 1 to 10, how racist are you? So he puts everybody up on this scale, and then I don't remember the question, but he asked the question of one of the individuals in there, and he didn't like the answer. He looks him dead straight in the eyes and just kind of turns around and moves the scale that he was at. He was like a 1, and he moves him all the way over to a 10. Just that whole scene was the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. And then he brings his uncle in there, his uncle Frank, and he's in a wheelchair, and he's like handicapped. You're not for sure if he can talk or not, and he's just chastising him the whole time, just like, this guy is such a piece of garbage. He did this and this and this. He's just a piece of trash. I want all you guys to tell him how much of a piece of trash that he is. And most of the people in there aren't comfortable doing it because they don't know him. They don't know Uncle Frank. They have no idea who this guy is. But there is one individual who does tell Uncle Frank what she thinks. And it really tells you, it really shows you where this person's mind is at compared to the majority of the others, And then finally, whenever he pulls out the whips to whip yourself, majority of them like, okay, I've seen enough of this. This is crazy. I'm leaving. But throughout this whole scene, people are getting up and leaving because how absurd and how crazy it is. But the ones who stay, which I'm assuming they're staying because they don't get paid unless they stay for the whole class. So I'm assuming that's what it was. I don't know, but it's what I'm assuming. But it's towards the end of the movie, but it's probably the funniest scene in the movie. Now, I will say this, that there was a lot of people, all 12 of us. Not all 12. There was several of us who was just cracking up laughing. I remember I was almost crying. It was just so funny. But the one thing I do remember the most is when I was walking out of the movie theater, the guy sitting, down from me, he looked at me, he goes, exactly what I was thinking. He says, Matt Walsh has to be a psychopath. I was like, yes, he's got to be a psychopath. How you could do that and not crack up and not crack a smile is just beyond me. It's just beyond me. And there's also one more scene at the very end of the credits. It's really, really funny. So if you watch the movie, make sure you stay at the end of the credits. It's worth it. It's really funny. And I can't even talk about it because that's how crazy it is. But anyways, that's my thoughts on Matt Walsh's Am I Racist? It's a really good movie. You should really, really watch it. Don't let politics get in the way of a great, funny movie. That's just my opinion. Thank you for checking this video out. Peace out.